Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Nerdarchus Ryan. Today I'm joined by
Nerdarch Steve,
Nathan Nerdarch,
Ted.
In this video, we're going to go over spells with tells.
jump down in the description below for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. Gain weekly tips as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
So this was inspired by a
Patron Wraithier Foxhaven.
Yep.
My man.
So he had kind of a player 911 that we're just going to turn into a more general discussion here.
So, essentially, he was in an adventure league game, and there were a mob of barbarians. He hit some of them with a hypnotic pattern,
Which is a favorite spell. Yeah.
And the other part of the mob wound up attacking them to break the enchantment.
And doing like minimum damage, die for damage. And so here's the thing. We rule against you, sir. You lose. No.
Sorry.
Here's the thing. Like, even if you read hypnotic pattern, one is they're just kind of standing there drawing, right? So they're not doing anything.
There's clearly a tell, and the spell specifically says if they spend an action, so by economy of actions, if the warrior types had more attacks, like they should spend an action to shake them awake. I guess like a punch or whatever, because if they take damage, then it does break the spell. So really, it should have been like a point plus strength modifier damage to like punch them, because yeah, they're staring, drooling, but they should the second group should maybe lose a round of actions, shaking the other.
In the spell itself, it says the last line is if they take damage or someone spends an action to basically get them out of it.
Right.
So the GM was actually kind of fair in the fact that he made it a D4.
Well, the only thing to call into question is, would the barbarians have known to do this? That's the only point of contention, in my opinion.
If you're standing there drooling, looking off into space, and like you're like pissed that your fellow warrior isn't actually engaged in the fight, jawing them one or something.
Well, you might shake them too, but like snap out of it with what's going on.
There's a fight here. Yell at their face, scream at them.
And also a pattern appears in the sky.
Everybody sees this kind of, and some people are enthralled by it.
That's where it comes into the whole spells with tells thing. So, to me, that's the only possible point of contention. The barbarians actively acting upon it, yeah, not a problem.
So here's the only way I would have been like, okay, yeah, the DM kind of effed you. Is if it was a pack of wolves and some of the other wolves went, "What are you doing?" and bit them.
Yeah.
No, that
animals aren't going to do it.
No, animals aren't going to do it. But people, yeah, it'd be like, even if they don't really understand what happened, they understand something happened and you're not acting right, and it might be just, hey, snap out of it.
Also, if you've seen the Fantastic Mr. Fox, where like the one character's eyes like go in these like spirals because he's just staring out of space, like some sort of like just standing there staring, drooling is happening. Like that, you're able to look at somebody and know that like they're just like not there.
And for the round that the barbarians weren't attacking, or sorry, those barbarians that are not attacking and the barbarians that went to shake them out of it, essentially, they didn't attack into the party that round.
Well, no, but he had them make an attack. So if they have 2 attacks to make, they could do 1 attack at their fellows to just snap them out of it, and then go on and make another attack at the party.
That's still for each attack going against the barbarian. That's still one less attack that's happening to the player. So
yeah, so the Dungeon Master did reduce the second faction's sort of economy of actions in that regard. Is one way to do it. Although, unless it's not clear, like if they were playing Theater of the Mind versus like laying out some minis or whatever, there could be a case to be argued that both of them should have been in the area of effect of this spell. If he's like, oh yeah, all of a sudden now there is a second faction, he could have been cheesed out of things. But like either that second group of warriors didn't exist actually, or he pulled some rubbish where like they're just outside of the area of effect of the hypnotic pattern.
Without knowing any of the details, that
becomes cheaterish.
And it's a save, so anybody that passes a save can be a person that's going to activate the other.
Yeah, exactly.
So what other spells with tells would we say are in our trusty players' hand?
Well, really low-level one, grease is a good example. It says, a slick grease covers everything. I'm like, all right. I mean,
I can see that.
We can see it. Everything looks a little smeared everywhere, so,
So when you have these type of spells, some of them actually have DCs for either spot or investigate written right in them.
Or they're
Others
just really obvious.
are
Really blatant.
blatantly obvious.
Now, if I'm running down a dungeon and someone's slamming grease on the ground, well, maybe I don't have enough time to react, or maybe I don't notice. Oh, this is grimy. This is
Or also they cast it as they like ready the action to cast it.
Yes.
That's another case. But if something, so we want to talk about spells that are like blatantly obvious of like, hey, there's something going on. Like you as the player, or conversely, the monsters might look at that and go, well, I want to steer clear of that.
So, like, with my cleric in Dave's game, I frequently use Spirit Guardians. And that is a 3rd level cleric spell. And there are angelic creatures, or at least, from the way I do it, that hover out in a 15-foot radius around the character.
You know something's going
They're
on over
completely
there.
visible.
The monsters have the choice of like, do I want to go mess with that?
Do I want to approach that person or not?
After you see the first person get pretty beat up, you might want to question that again. But
Because it does automatic damage. There's no attack roll. There's no saving throws. It's not great, but it is automatic radiant.
And it slows them down. So yeah, that happens.
Then you have like the cloud kill and the stinking cloud spells, where you're actually creating these nauseous-looking vapors that appear. Now, I also would think they would have an odor to them. So animals with keen senses, well, not even probably not that keen.
A human could smell that.
Yeah. Would not want to go near it. People seeing it are going to be kind of spooked and be like, I'm not going near that. Now, unintelligent monsters, sure, they would probably march right into it and not even think about it.
Maybe if you piss off like an ogre or something, because they have like a 6 intelligence. Or
Right,
5.
that was the other thing. A low intelligence monster would probably not worry about it either.
or like a troll. It's
Until
gonna
it
be like,
gets there, I'm like, whoa, wait a second. I'm not happy about this.
this area smells nicer than me. Trolls would be like, well,
Smells bad.
Well, I feel like there's this weird area of where like animal level intelligence would probably stay away because it would be spooky to them and smell bad. To like average intelligent monster goes, yeah, that doesn't look right. I think I'm going to avoid that. To bloodthirsty ogre or orc goes, I don't care. I want blood.
Yeah.
And they run right through it. But it's obvious. There's obviously something going on. So if your DM is, has his monsters react to that, or the bad guys react to that, it only makes sense.
So we also talked about Avard's black tentacles and things where you create something that's visibly out there. Monsters and NPCs have the ability to look at that and make an intelligent choice based on the changing battlefield.
Well, I mean, like, we play these games because they're not stupid AIs. They're things that actually make rational choices. Like, there's no point in playing an RPG if you're going to have them be as dumb as computer game programming.
bad computer programming.
Yeah, because no, I'm sure that there's plenty of it's been like over a decade since I've really played like games on console or PC or whatever. But yeah, like back in the day, the AIs we had, they were stupid. You could totally manipulate them.
Now they're smarter than you.
Possibly. I'm like, could I get
Would
this
you
AI?
like to play a game?
Could I get this AI to do my taxes for me? That would be great.
So is there any others that we missed? Anything that we...
No, there's plenty of spells that do that, but I think we've given a good amount of examples.
Yeah, I mean, Blade Barrier, Cloud of Daggers, all these things of like, yeah, that's just shredded somebody to pieces. I don't want to go in there. I don't have a death wish. Like all these spells, like if they create a visible thing, people are going to question interacting with that thing because they know it's harmful, whether that's a player or an NPC.
What you have to do is you have to go, how does this new thing affect the 5 senses? Does it create an unpleasant sound? Well, that might warn you to stay away. Is there a bad odor? That might be, especially depending on the kind of odor too, may drive you to go, I'm not going into that. Sight, what does it look like? So there, there's these things going on that may cause the monsters, just like the players would go, okay.
I was gonna make that point. Like if you wouldn't do that thing with your player character, well, a creature with a reasonable intelligence is also likely to rationalize to also not do that thing.
And if you do want to make some kind of check or something, if something's kind of hard to see, or hey, it's magic, so maybe you don't know. I think Glyph of Warding is a good kind of bar to set because it says it's nearly invisible and it requires a successful investigation check. Intelligence check, investigation check, set to the DC of the spell. So that's for a nearly invisible thing that's really not supposed to be seen. and it's supposed to blow up in your face. It's a trap.
Whereas these other things
Or
are
pretty blatant. Yeah.
So don't go.
It's a trap.
I would say don't go making something a DC investigate check of pretty high when it's not nearly invisible.
When something's obvious, that's like a
that's
DC
not
5, 1 to 5.
That's I would say just don't even do a check.
Yeah, no, that literally is not even a check at
And
that
then
point.
sometimes there might be circumstances like grease in an area that's dimly lit. Maybe it won't get noticed, or there's a lot of dampness around already, so it might blend in.
So, like, if you're in a poorly lit dungeon underground, it's very, it's very easy to be like, well, they're just not going to notice this.
This moldy piece is ugliness, or this moldy piece of ugliness is shiny.
You can talk about your other instances of spells with tells down in the bottom. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Go hang out with us over on Facebook for funny memes.
Check out the articles at nerdarchy.com.
While there, don't forget to check out Nardarchy, the store.
So until next time.
Stay nerdy.